This week's episode is brought to you by Natasha F., who suggested a featured movie on our Facebook page. Thank you very much for the suggestion, and if you have a movie you'd like us to cover on the show, just like Natasha did, then we're going to tell you all the ways you can do that at the end of the episode. And now, on with the show. Welcome to episode 57 of the Graveyard Shift Horror Podcast. You regular listeners know what this is all about by now, but for your newbies, each week we watch a movie from the horror category and break it down into the good, the bad, and sometimes the downright confusing. We'll talk about the plot, some production details, and anything else we find relevant, interesting, or fun. I'm your host Sheldon, and I never work the Graveyard Shift alone. Please say hello to our very own feral woods child, my co-host Mike.
Hello.
Mike, how are you doing, buddy?
Mike, stay.
Mike, okay. Or don't. I don't really care.
That's just like one of the big themes in the movie. So, yeah. It's going to be one of those episodes.
Yeah, this is a bad time, too. Like, I mean, I watched the movie, but I kind of half-heartedly watched the movie because, dude, honestly, I can't remember a time in my life that I was as busy as I am now. This is fucking insane. I honestly think I need a vacation, and I know I just recently got back from one, but anyway, now's no time for a vacation because I just spilled beer all over my crotch. Fuck. But anyway, no, I'm good. That's fine. Oh man, it was really good beer too.
You just having a nice crotch brow?
Yeah, it was really good. It was a Mill Street Organic. It was nice. Oh. Anyway, we got a movie to talk about, so not my vacation or not my crotch beer. So Mike, why don't you tell everyone what
just
we got?
Make sure to wash the undies before you get a yeast infection.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, Mike, why don't you tell everyone what we got for them this week?
Today's episode is Not the Daddy, because we watched Mama.
We sure did. And here's a little factoids.
That's a terrible baby dinosaur.
Yeah, well, you know.
I think it was Not the Daddy. There we go.
Yeah, that was better. That was good. Well, it was weird because me and my wife were just talking about dinosaurs today. It's like, because she was like, yeah, I used to watch that, but I never ever saw the ending. How did it end? And so I had to tell her the whole thing.
Oh, that ending was iconic.
I had to tell her about how everybody just pretty much were just waiting to die.
They ushered in the Ice Age with global warming. Yeah. Or global cooling.
They went real dark with that.
Yeah, that was just like, it started snowing and they're like, what are we going to do? I guess this is it.
Yeah, where they were basically like, well, I mean, wasn't the last line something like the dad was like, hey, we dinosaurs have been around for millions of years. Now, like, we're just going to disappear. Like, literally, that was it. And then it pans out to see, like, the city, like, being covered in snow. Yeah, man. Oh, that made me sad. Anyway, we're talking about Mama. Released in January 2018, Mama is a Spanish-American supernatural horror film starring Jessica Chastain and Jamie Lannister.
Yep.
It has a runtime of 100 minutes, which is more than long enough for any horror movie, and has a PG-13 rating, so don't expect a lot of violence and gore with this one.
Or nice, pleasantly distracting nudity.
Nope, none of that. So Mike was very disappointed.
Not even ghost hoodies.
You wouldn't want to see those anyway. Actually, you might. I don't know. Mama had a budget of $15 million and had a box office return of approximately $146 million, so it actually did all right. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 65% critic score and a 55% audience score. Not exactly flying colors, though, despite the good return. As for the plot, a young couple take in their two nieces.
Those people saw the movie. It doesn't matter if they liked it.
Yeah, that's true. They gave, that is true. They actually had to see it first. But I do remember there was like quite a lot of hype about this movie. Because I think it was based on a short story first, like a short film. that actually got a lot of attention, and so they made it into a full-on feature film. And
isn't it also based on a Danzig song?
not the same. But anyway, a young couple taking their two nieces that have been missing for 5 years, only to suspect, jeez, I can't read my own notes, that a supernatural spirit named Mama has latched itself to the family. Okay, we're going to go into detail about Mama in just a minute, but before that, Mike, what do you think of this one overall?
It was watchable. I can't really say that if I ever wanted to chill with an old friend of a movie, that this would be in my list of go-to classics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I did... It was okay to watch it.
It was okay. I think it earned that 50 to 60% score. It's okay.
Yeah.
Didn't make much of an impact on me. Honestly, I got some problems with the movie. It's certainly not good, but not something that's absolutely terrible. I just felt like it just wasn't necessary. Like, I didn't feel like I totally wasted my time by watching it, but I wasn't... It's just meh. But anyway, I guess we got to go into more detail than that. So we're going to actually talk about the good and the bad with this one. The good and the bad can be anything we want to bring up, whether it's something specific, like a certain scene, certain line of dialogue, character, or something broad like an overall theme. It really doesn't matter. Same goes with the bad. And also, if there's anything that we just didn't understand that made no sense, we will talk about that in a certain column we call the WTF column. We're keeping it PG-13 today, you can tell, right? Maybe we should call it the WTH column today. Seeing as there's no, violent score or... What did he call it anyway? Like when just strong language? Like when you give these ratings, like a reason to give like something an R rating or whatever.
Coarse language?
Coarse language, yeah. So, yeah, we'll try to keep it PG-13. The fuck we will.
Oh, thank God. I'm so happy we weren't sticking with
Mike
that.
was just starting to sweat. I could he's starting to...
Is this how we're going to market the podcast now?
Yeah. We got to get rid of that big E sticker that we have on the front. Okay. So, as usual, we always start off with the good, and we always start off with the Mike. So, Mike, dig deep, buddy. Tell me something that was good about this movie.
8 minutes into this movie, and bam! We get to see Mama kick some fucking ass and just tear some asshole apart. Mm-hmm. Well, not really tear him apart, but drag him away to, I don't know, drag him into the ether to an invisible place, or she just snapped his neck and then the kids are stumbling around his body until it slowly gets eaten by insects and animals over the next... who knows? Probably that's how the kids stayed alive. They ate Dad.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, who knows what the ghost did with his corpse, but, 8 minutes in, the kid... It starts off with a dad having a really bad day. He's killed he's killed his mother. He's killed his wife. He grabs the kids. He's about to... he's just driving somewhere, drives off the road, finds a cabin, and then just decides, I'm going to kill my kids. Because this day is bad for me, why not make it bad for them?
Yeah.
But as he puts a gun to the back of his kid's head, who has lost her glasses, and she can't see, the father is immediately taken away by this ghost who's inhabiting the cabin, and the kid just turns around and only sees like a fuzzy shadow of her dad being pulled away into darkness. So, right off the bat, this movie's promising good things. It was a good shock, a good scare, and this ghost ain't fucking around. This ghost is protecting these kids right off the bat.
Yeah, it did start off pretty good. Even before you get to any supernatural part, it starts pretty damn dark.
And also, they killed Jaime Lannister right off the bat.
Yes. But don't worry, he's not gone for long, because like some kind of cheap soap opera, his twin, played by the same actor, is going to take over for the rest of the movie. But yeah, like I said, it started off pretty dark. Very... the tone was set right away. It started off looking good. Right off the bat, you got him, somebody just running I don't want to say running for their lives, because I mean I think they intended to kill him. I think he intended to kill his kids and then himself. But yeah, murdered his wife and took off with the kids and was just about to kill them. I'm like, wow, that's not pulling any punches right out of the gate.
No, this was like the opposite of what should have happened to the Lannisters.
So yeah, and then that leads to us getting like we get to basically see what happens over the next 5 years in the form of kids drawings. And the same ghost that took care of Daddy had a little bit of a soft spot for these two girls.
by feeding them cherries
It
finds in the forest.
Feeding them cherries. And if that's not enough, I mean, like, you can't just survive on cherries alone. So a little bit of protein. Apparently, according to the kids' drawings, the occasional raccoon got eaten.
Well, yeah, because I mean, like, the only thing that can really fuck with a raccoon would be a ghost, because it would tear the fuck out of those kids.
Oh yeah, raccoons are assholes.
Yeah, so you need that ghost to take care of the badgers, the raccoons, even the occasional deer that wanders close.
Yeah, but we get to take a look at these pictures and see that these girls are starting to get a little feral themselves.
Well, no one's teaching them manners. And besides, they see the ghost. Well, think about it. They see the ghost walking around like a herky-jerky thing.
Yeah, more.
What are they gonna do?
More on that ghost later.
Yeah.
So
that leads to my good feral kids. Wow. When the kids are found, you think. I thought that they were going to be like the monsters throughout this movie. But no, they kind of tame. They get retamed fairly quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For the most part.
For the most part, yeah. There's some issues there, I think, but yeah, this. I didn't know what was going to happen there, and like I thought it was weird because I don't want to get into my bad already. I've got such a list of bad stuff, and it's just. So yeah, like when they get discovered by the guy that's hunting, and he discovers the wreck car, because that, I guess I should mention that part. That's how they ended up in this cabin in the first place. Because while on the run, Daddy sends the car flying off the road and crashes into a little bit of, not a ravine, but just down like a very steep embankment. And the car gets found 5 years later, like just by happenstance, and the guy wanders into the cabin and finds these two feral girls. So, is it really?
Yeah, and they've apparently been hired by the brother, because they were calling him earlier, talking about how the check didn't clear the last check didn't clear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus! I must have like completely missed that part.
Yeah, so he was like apparently he's been spending his money, his childhood illustrator money on local hunters who spend their time in the woods anyway. So he's basically asking them like, "Hey, can you just go out of your way and like scour some areas?"
Mm-hmm.
That's how they know who to call.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, that makes sense. It totally makes sense now. I was just thinking, like, for some reason I had in my head that these was just random hunters, just happened to cross paths with these with that cabin. So weird. Okay, I guess I really did tune out during this movie.
Wow, I'm the attentive one.
Dude, my good list for this one is such a pile of bullshit.
Okay, well, let's get a nice spoonful of crap then.
Literally, I got on my list. Sometimes this movie was almost scary. Jesus Christ.
Do you agree with Pat Sheldon's assessment?
No, I do not. Pat Sheldon was very sleepy and not paying a lot of attention.
Yeah, because I think there was some genuinely frightening moments in this movie.
Oh.
So I'd have a bone to pick with him, but now I understand he wasn't really paying attention.
No, like, I got, like, a lot of jump scares, but I'm like, my God. I've literally got a lot of jump scares in my good list and bad list.
Oh my God, this is going to be one of our best episodes. Oh, you are the hot mess tonight.
I honestly think I wrote down like a note, like going to the kitchen, either getting a drink, getting a snack, coming back, and like a scene just ended, and I said, "Hey," thinking to myself, that scene might have been scary. Sometimes this movie is almost scary. My gosh.
Oh my God, should I continue with the good while you try to make sense of your notes?
Yes, you go ahead. I'm gonna drink some more beer.
You're just gonna suck it out of your pants?
There's still some left in the glass, okay? And besides, I'm gonna wring it out of my pants, not suck it out. I'm not an animal.
Okay, well, I gotta say that seeing this uncle, when he finds his feral nieces and he tries to speak with them and he hands the little girl her glasses and she puts them on and sees him and says, "Daddy?" It is some genuinely touching bonding moments when they're in the lab, for lack of a better word, when they bring the kids home, when he is so understanding and willing to give them space to just be, while also encouraging them to reach out to him. He's like, this could have been like a nice dramatic movie. He was so loving and attentive and caring. This was genuinely touching.
Mm-hmm. Sure, I'll buy that.
And then every now and then we see the little 5-year-old girl eating a moth. Because once you go feral, you never go back.
Apparently so. So I've got, literally, like, my notes are not separated at all. I've got like no like column of good and bad. Everything's just all mixed in together. Like, past Sheldon is hoping that future Sheldon can sort this out. And I've got Jessica Chastain in my good column. I got Jessica Chastain, short dark hair, tatted up, a little bit goth, a little bit emo, and she's a rocker. Yeah, baby. And then I've got like a little side note next to it, and then she started acting.
Oh my God. Oh, well, she wasn't bad. I didn't see anything particularly bad about her.
No,
do you remember what Pat Sheldon had a gripe with, or
just I think that some of her lines like just seemed very forced, and I really don't think she gave a fuck that she was in this movie.
That was supposed to be like her character, though.
Yeah,
like someone
I know,
who's like,
but
she's in it for the guy. Like the fact that he's got these kids, yeah, and like she seemed to be only okay with it because he loves those kids, and that gets me really horny to see him being all caring and compassionate and sweet, and I love the fucker, so I'm gonna write it out.
I don't know,
but
man.
She really doesn't know. She doesn't know what to do with these kids for the most part.
No, but like it almost looks like for her, she asked for her character direction, and the director said, "Oh, like you're an edgy kind of like semi-emo rocker chick," and her take on that was just to go,
So I walk around in my undies a lot.
That was okay. I mean, no one's complaining about that.
No.
She looked good. She did, but I don't know, man. She's like a decent actor, and I just don't think that this was. It just felt phoned into me. I did not particularly enjoy her acting in this. But
I attributed that to her character.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. It's like, I thought she was going to be like. I think she was my favorite character in this still. Even though I'm not that impressed, she did play my favorite character. But
well, yeah, she eventually does warm up to the girls. And that's again, like, that also dips into the touching bonding moments. Like when one of the kids that wants to stay outside, she drags her in kicking and screaming, and she just like holds her until she eventually like gets used to the fact that like, no, like, you don't need to go outside to be with mama. Like, I can hold you and protect you, and I can be mama. And the little kid starts to register that for a minute. And then mama, of course, doesn't like that shit.
Nope, she does not. Mama had a little jealous streak.
Yep, and I guess as my final good, I like the psychiatrist who, for lack of a better word, I call him not Tony Shalhoub.
Because he wasn't.
But he kind of gave that Tony Shalhoub vibe.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I said, like, sort of. So, he seemed like a decent psychiatrist, although he's not immune to some bad. So we'll get into that when it's time to dabble into the bad.
Right. Okay. Well, we can go straight to the bad, because obviously I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about today, so...
Well, you can lead the good, or like I just did my good, so you can do a bad, and then we'll...
Yeah.
Unless you're still trying to sort out what your notes are.
I got one where Jessica Chastain's character is getting a tattoo from her friend. Was that even in this movie?
If it was a scene that didn't register shit with me. Mm-hmm. I just remember her jamming with her buddies.
Was she getting a tattoo? I remember her like laying down in a chair while her friend was like sitting next to her doing something.
I thought she was strumming a guitar.
Oh, fuck's sake. Did I even watch this movie? Jesus Christ. But my only note there for that scene is, oh my god, we're so edgy.
Okay, so I guess my bad. Getting back to the beginning of the movie, are we supposed to believe that a dog can sniff a scent that should have melted or washed away 5 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And that scent is still, like, 5 years of just fucking nature, wind, rain, snow, elements, sunlight just cooking everything away from the friggin' ground during scorching heat waves, and all those animals and people passing through, and that scent is that again, they were walking in the winter, so any scent that they left in the ground should have washed away during the spring thaw. And this went through 5 spring thaws, and the dog leads them right to the cabin.
Yeah,
we're supposed to buy this shit.
Well, I had from the bad right there is like, so like something similar to it, not quite, but just, you know, just one of those instances, like, are we supposed to believe this? Is that, like, he's driving, and when the car slips off the road, it's not like they go that far. They just kind of go down an embankment. And you're meaning to tell me that car is no further away than that from, like, a major road, and nobody saw this car for 5 years? Nobody came upon it?
Yeah, no one noticed that the embankment is missing a fucking railing?
Yeah. Like, I couldn't believe that, like...
Because they plow through a railing.
Yep.
You think anybody driving by would be, hey, look at that railing. And you see that spot where there's not a railing? And then there's the rest of the railing? Maybe somebody should check that out.
Yeah. There's no way that car wouldn't have been discovered. And then I've got, so... As soon as they make their way to this cabin, like, Mama takes out the dad right away. Like, within minutes of reaching that cabin.
Well, it's probably her cabin, so...
Yeah, but that's not my point. I mean, she's obviously, you know, haunting that area or whatever like that, and takes him out, and then takes pity on these girls. Why didn't she take out the guys, these hunters that discovered them?
Who knows? Maybe she was out fucking up a deer.
I know, the answer is because plot device. But...
my first go-to was always trying to work within the universe. So I figure she was out hunting, And then she came home, the girls were gone, and that's when she was just like, and just ready to tear some shit up. Either that or she was just like, well, as long as the hunters don't walk away with the kids, we'll be fine. And then she, being from the 1800s, doesn't know about a cell phone. So she's just like, why is he talking to that thing in his pocket? And then all of a sudden the police show up and she's like, well, I can't kill all these assholes. What's going on?
But she could. That's my thing. Like,
yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
They would know what's going on.
And I know, like, by saying this, I'm trying to poke a hole in, like, every single ghost movie that ever existed. It's like,
yeah, you think that, why are they scared to ghost out in front of cops? What are they going to do? Shoot through me?
Well, they always go after, like, one or just, like, a couple of people. But when there's a group, like, they... not everyone. I know we're gonna get people writing in. Actually, this ghost movie, this ghost showed himself to like lots of people. So, but go fuck yourself. First of all, person that doesn't exist. I just totally made up. But for the most part, I mean, like ghost stories are always, when somebody's alone, that's when the ghost strikes.
Yeah, like the ghost is scared of crowds or police.
Yeah.
Like, why do they hide? It's just like, oh, I don't want to be discovered. Like, what the fuck? Like, do you think cops are going to be like, hey, Jefferson, get down to the armory and break out the grimoire? Like, no. Oh. No, the cops aren't going to have, like, the cops aren't going to have amulets and totems to scare you off. Like, they've got guns and shotguns that are not going to work on you. Like, ghost out. They can't stop you.
Yeah, like, Beetlejuice those bitches. Yeah. I just noticed I got this marked as good, and it's got nothing to do with this movie except for the actress Jessica Chastain. I got here. Oh, Jessica Chastain is going to be adult Bev in It Chapter 2.
Shit.
So
yeah, I mean, yeah.
So that's one of the things I had to put on the good list for this movie was something that's not actually related to this movie.
Now all those guys that were too busy, that were staring inappropriately at Bev in the first movie, can now relax in the second one.
Yeah, you sure can, Mike.
Oh fuck!
Joking. So that I don't know. They just and like I know if that was the case, there wouldn't be a movie. But I'm just.
I think they would encounter the ghost and just like run out, like grab the girls and run out screaming, and then maybe one of them gets grabbed by the ghost.
Maybe the ghost can't show herself in the daytime. I don't fucking know. Jesus, this movie sucked. I'm bringing down my score down to 40% now.
Rotten Tomatoes gave you too much credit.
I'm sitting here in wet pants. Okay, leave me alone. I'm mad. I'm going to be more judgy. I'm going to be more critical now.
My next bad is when now we get to not Tony Shalhoub, who's been researching the girls, and he seems to genuinely care for their well-being. Mm-hmm. A good dude. Like at first it seems like he's in this because he's just like, I've got a fucking amazing book here. Like we're gonna like re-socialize like two little Tarzans. We're gonna be like I'm gonna be print money. Like we kind of get that vibe at first, but as he talks with the kids, it becomes clear that like he is concerned with their rehabilitation and their well-being, and it's like he's just like, I can care about the girls and get material for a great book at the same time. Mm-hmm. Like he manages to spin both those plates. But as he becomes to realize that Mama is in fact real, and there's one scene where he turns around and I think he sees the ghost, and then when the mother's just like, where are you going? Out. But what about the ghost? Yeah, they're fine. Never mind, you have a fucking ghost in your house. I'm sorry. We're going to move you, and we're going to get a priest. No. So he's still kind of a short-sighted fool. But what makes him an entry in the bad column was when he decides to confront the ghost, and all he brings is a camera to the cabin. And he starts like taunting her, like, I know who you are. Reveal yourself, Elizabeth. Blah, blah, blah. Like, he might as well say blah, 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 because he's not really saying anything.
Well, he might as well say, hey, come out and kill me now.
Yeah. He doesn't have, like, you... I mean, come on. You go after a ghost and you only bring a camera with a flash. He didn't bring a priest, a shaman, an exorcist, a proton reactor, a fucking gorilla holding a vacuum cleaner, anything. This doc
God, I
had
can't
his
even
death...
begin to think of how few people actually got that.
This doc had it coming. You don't go after a ghost without a plan and a partner. Because they will always grab someone, slam them up against the wall, so you need someone, while the ghost is distracted, to read a book, or invoke some heavenly spirit, or an even bigger ghost to fuck him up. No, this guy just went alone and he's just like, I'm going to take pictures of you, I'm going to prove you exist. Well, yeah, but who's going to bring that proof outside this cabin?
You know, somebody will take that camera from your cold, dead hand.
So, yeah, for all of his intelligence, he really went fucking dumb.
Yep, for sure. Okay, so next on my bad list, since we're already talking about the ghost, the fucking ghost. What happened? Like, why did all of a sudden ghosts in like these supernatural horror movies have to be some CGI crapfest contortionist underwater looking thing?
Because you can't get a triple jointed girl with spinal bifida.
You can, but you gotta pay extra.
Yeah, and they spent all their budget on Jaime Lannister.
Yeah, he doesn't cost anything, man. What's he got going for him? Game of Thrones. That's it.
Hey, you didn't see Gods of Egypt?
No, I did not, and no one else did either. So, but yeah, no, this I fucking hated this. Like, it didn't look like a person. Like, it's all stretched out and twisted. I know, and it was so on the nose because that's exactly how the fucking woman that lived in the records department, whatever you want to call that, because she's like, not only does she keep records, but she's also a ghost expert as well. She actually described, like, ghosts are emotions all bent out of shape. And so the ghost is all, like, twisted and everything looking. Go fuck yourself. God, this movie makes me mad.
Yeah, I mean, what's she going to do? Walk to the cabin and say it's clean?
Yeah. That's like such... Other people have brought up in, like, so many other, like, people that review horror movies have talked about this a lot, but... That's a trope in horror movies, man, like, where there's always, like, just this one person is, like, an expert at whatever type of supernatural event is happening. Like, you just know what's going on. And it's just so dumb.
They're conversely as useful as they are informed.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just, like, for a ghost, you don't need to go to this, like, flowy, like, CGI thing. Like, it looks like it's out of, like, some video game or something.
Yeah, and I think, like, they've watched too many Japanese movies when they're just, like, they have to be, like, all triple, quadruple jointed, neck snappy. Like, just put a fading filter on a person who's covered in white with a bit of black under their eyes to look sunken in, a little graven, and just go with that.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem I have with this ghost's it's certainly not an original idea. Like, all of a sudden, like, for a long time now, this is the way that a lot of films portray ghosts, as this, like, just this swirling CGI mass. It takes elements from other horror movies, like The Grudge, The Ring, there's a bunch of those other, like a Paranormal Activity type of thing. And even Aliens, this thing has some aspects of Aliens, like especially one scene where it's on the ceiling and gradually starts like walking down, like upside down the wall towards them. I'm like, that's ripped right out of Aliens there, dude.
Yeah, that's some xenomorph shit.
Yeah. And so, yeah, the whole ghost thing just bothered me. I'm like, I'd rather see, like, a human, like an actress in makeup than see this CGI thing.
Yeah, and then when they keep saying, like, I found this wiki, and it keeps saying that at the end, when they bring the body of the baby, she turns back into a beautiful woman. And I'm like, were you watching this movie? Even when she
Yes.
appears human, even at her best, she looks like that fucking distorted nightmare Jew painting from It. When that kid is in the temple and we see that terrifying scream type painting that Pennywise takes form of, that's what she looks like on her good day.
Yep. Yeah, she's still all distorted and everything.
Like, her head looks like a fucking bean rather than a skull. Where there's like a face like around it. And this is supposed to be like her when she's finding peace and returning back to like her beautiful form. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, it was still pretty damn scary, man.
And my final bad goes to that scene when she's turning back into a human, walking away with her baby, and then the little 5-year-old Lily just says, "Mama!" It's like, fuck, Lily, when a ghost is finding its peace, you shut up. You don't fucking sell out your adoptive parents to a rage monster.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna miss you, you fucking little asshole.
I'm just thinking about how these people are supposed to explain exactly what happened and why they're missing a kid now. And there's at least like 2 dead bodies in that cabin.
I'm pretty sure they just figured, well, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to be living in this cabin. We can't go home. We can't explain any of this shit.
Yeah, but somebody's going to have to explain it. Somebody's going to be checking up on them. And, yeah, some shit's going to go down there. So I got on my list Jamie Lannister, and I'm not even going to attempt to actually say the actor's name.
Nikolai Coster-Waldau.
Yes, that. Nikolai Kostner Waldorf.
Nikolai Coster, where's Waldo?
Something Denmark. What did he speak in Denmark anyway? Denmarkian?
Danish or Cruller? I can't tell.
Honeycrawler? Okay. But anyway, the best part of watching him act is when his Denmarker's Danish accent used to slip out.
I noticed that a bit, but I didn't feel like picking on him.
It's like every once in a while, it's like, okay, I'll be there right away. I'll drive there in my car. And like every once in a while, it would just pop out, and I'm like, ha! You don't care about this movie either. And neither does the director, because he would have definitely made you do that over. So, yeah, there was a couple times I wrote it down, and I was like, oh, there it is. Yep, Danish. Danish with cheese. But yeah, so, I don't know, like, I put this as an overall statement for the bad. It's just that none of these people seem to be reacting to the situation the way that they should. First of all, once people know that their house is haunted, why the fuck do they stay there?
Do you know how hard it is to sell a house?
Do it, motherfucker. Stick it in my heart, man. It'll hurt less. Oh, so I gotta tell you something.
You set yourself up so fucking beautifully.
Speaking of which, I told my wife this today because like I've got my house on the market, and the people like directly across the street from us, right across the street, just today put up a for sale sign. So we got like literally like, and this is a townhouse complex, so all the houses are pretty much the same. And now there's like literally 2 houses directly like parallel with each other for sale. And I told my wife, I said, tonight I'm going to go to their for sale sign and stick a sign underneath that says, definitely not haunted. And when I see some people like heading to their house, like they're going to take a viewing, I'm going to casually walk by and just say, oh, you guys looking at the murder house? Yes, but yeah, selling a house is a pain in the ass.
Or you could just be like, wow, it's amazing how quickly that sign went up after the black family looked at my house.
But yeah, it's a weird thing when you think about it, because like we had a couple of viewings today, And it's just weird that, like, we're not home, but we just let, like, some strangers just go through our house. I know.
And you're not even, like, moving your crap out, are you? It's just there, like some...
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, everything is there.
I hate the idea of an open house. Like, someone can just pinch your shit.
We actually got a... Well, I mean, it's not an open house. We're not doing it that way. Like, they're actually there with an agent that gets set up through our agent. But still, it's like there's 3 people I've never met before, know nothing about, are just going through my house. While I'm just waiting, like, outside somewhere. But anyway, whatever. I'm just being paranoid. We were talking about a movie. What movie did we watch? Oh, yeah. Mamma Mia. I would have rather watched Mamma Mia than this one. I've given it 30% now. But yeah, I'm sure there's got to be something else I didn't like about this movie that I didn't bother to write down at the end. I mentioned the special effects didn't care for. The acting wasn't good. People just reacted badly to the situation. Why is it that the ghost... Here's one. Why is it the ghost had no problem offing certain people off, like, super quickly, and then some other people seemed just like they just kind of played around with them?
Yeah, she possessed the sister-in-law who's... Again, like, if this was like a Home Alone or like some family drama movie, this mother would be like the villain. Like, this woman would be the villain. Because she keeps wanting to take the kids, saying like, oh, she'd be better off with... They'd be better off with me because I'm rich. So she walks into the house and immediately meets the ghost, and then the ghost wears her like a fucking suit, I guess, so it can walk around without scaring people, or it wants to know what it's like having regular bones and joints.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like standing in the cabin, and as soon as everyone's just like, what are you doing here? She just like drops like a meat suit, where she's just like, okay, this gig's up, I'm just dropping this. She just drops like discarded clothing.
Yeah, like, not a bad kill. Like, I actually did, I could have put that in my good list, I guess. I actually did like that when she stopped possessing the woman, she just, like, kind of crumbled. Or crumpled, I should say. I kind of...
Just like when you come home from work and you're just like, fuck you, pants.
Yeah, you just kind of deflate. But
like the kid in that commercial, and that kid in that PSA after she smoked marijuana. She's just on the couch all deflated.
Oh yeah, that's stupid commercials.
What happened to you? I tried pot. Yeah, I bet you're regretting it. Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of the highlights in the movie for sure. But like, yeah, like, okay, the dad at the beginning, ghost kills him like that, like right away. He's gone. The doctor, he's done. She possesses that lady, Joyce, I think her name was, and she's dead.
Yeah.
But everyone else, like the 2 main characters, seems like she has a really hard time killing them. I mean, like, Jamie Lannister, she actually, like, dropped him on his head from the top of the stairs.
Yeah, that just put him in a coma for a bit.
Yeah, and holy shit.
And then the second time, she, like, crushes his heart in his chest.
Mm-hmm, but he's fine.
Well, he's Danish, okay? Those people are fucking stout.
Yeah, that's true. I like how he comes out of a coma and then it's like, oh, I better go and drive to this cabin.
Yeah, it's not like my legs and my, staying conscious is going to be difficult for a while. Rehab, that's for like North American people. I'm proud Danish stock. We come from Vikings.
He was just fine, and like, I got a concussion from playing hockey once and couldn't remember how to use the can opener. But he comes out of a coma after being like slammed on his head. He's all good. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he can draw. I mean, as far as he's concerned, that's his big test. If I can lift a pencil, I can drive a car.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
And for some reason, I guess there's a second ghost in this movie, which is his brother, who haunts his dream.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the.
Can we just swap? Can we just take this to What the Fuck Town, Because I'm pretty sure that ghost is a what the fuck.
Let's go to what the fuck. Why the fuck not? There's go nuts. I don't even care anymore.
Yeah. So he gets visited by the ghost of his brother, who also appears far away, but also similarly disjointed. It's like he's trying to stand still while also doing an impersonation of the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz, where he's just like, "Go that way," and he's like, "Save my girls." Like, why? For you to kill them? Or did you suddenly change your mind after 5 years in hell? It's like, oh yeah, now you care about your fucking kids.
Yeah, really.
But that was just an impromptu what the fuck. The only what the fuck I wrote down was Mama sounds like Chewbacca.
She does.
Yep.
Yeah. There's nothing else to say there. She does. You already talked about my what the fuck. My what the fuck was just after they gave her the bones of her baby, and I said, "Oh, so now she looks normal." And
If normal in that she's still a living Picasso painting.
yeah, you couldn't make her just look like a real person at that point. But yeah, this is one of these movies where, like, I could just... You got a couple of good things, like, that you can say about it. There's a couple of things that are okay. And then there's just, like, a laundry list of what's wrong with it.
Yeah, the ending, which I kind of like, in that this little kid, I have not liked Lily. The 5-year-old is not good. The 10-year-old, she's good. She's regaining her humanity. She's becoming more civilized. She's learning to detach from Mama, and like she's realized that, Mama, you helped me when I needed you, but I'm growing up and I've got other family. I'm doing fine. Like, she's appreciating what she has, but the 5-year-old, she's just a fucking feral little asshole that, just won't cut the cord, and then she sells her family out and lets Mama kicks their asses, and we think that she's killed them. And then she just takes the 5-year-old, takes her off a cliff, and then just drops with her. And I'm like, fuck yes, they actually killed the shitty kid. Yes!
Jesus Christ.
And then, weirdly, as they fall, they get wrapped in a hair cocoon and then explode into butterflies. Well, they explode into moths. And Lily gets turned into a butterfly. And then lands on her sister's finger to let her know, I'm okay, I'm happy, I'm a fucking bug. And then they fly away.
Yep. The whole ending, yeah, like that was just... I know they tried to make it like some kind of nice, like sad, but kind of peaceful ending. But it was just a mess.
Yeah, a child who had no idea what she's doing got turned into a bug. Yep.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be a tough one to explain to the authorities. But the only thing I had for what the fuck was, other than just the ending, was so being left in the woods by yourself for 5 years gives you super speed? Because those girls... At the beginning, when they're so all feral and everything, like, literally they are just, like, zipping around in, like, the blink of an eye. Like, they are, like, they're here, and all of a sudden they're on the other side of the room on top of a shelf.
Yeah, they're not, like, crawling around like Gollum.
Nope.
No, they are zipping around like grudge ghosts.
Like, I thought for a second they could teleport, like they were Nightcrawler for a sec. But, like, yeah, and they didn't, like, you didn't see them run or anything like that. It was just like they're here, and all of a sudden it's like they make a sudden jerk movement, and the camera pans over to the other side of the room, and now they're there.
They're cockroaches constantly under a flashlight.
Yep. So, yeah, that would just seem dumb to me. Like, it wasn't even necessary. They're doing it for, like, it's kind of another sort of jump scare attempt. And goddamn, this movie loves its jump scares.
Oh yeah.
Every scare in this movie was a jump scare, but
it's all it had.
Yeah. I mean, jump scares are fine. They're going to be in just about every horror movie, but like you get like one or two in a movie, and that's enough. When that's what your movie depends on, then you're done. It's like you got nothing else. So, you know what? 20%. I'm down to 20%. I went from 50 to 60 to down to 20% now.
Well, I guess I'm ready to wrap this up with my kill of the week. And I'd have to say my kill will go to Lily. Because to paraphrase Raiders or Temple or whatever the indie movie is, she chose poorly. And
that was the last crusade.
If you think the kill doesn't count because she turned into a moth, well, guess what? It's a week before she gets eaten by a bird or meets a bug zapper with her name on it. So that kid is fucking dead.
Yeah.
And even if she does manage to just fly around the forest, well, guess how long moths live? Yeah. So Lily just fucking killed herself to die a pretty bug.
Yep. No, I agree. I would have went with Joyce's death, but whatever. This is your thing. So, like, I think both of us, one of the big complaints watching the movie, based on what I had to say just now and the notes that the messages you were sending me while you were watching this, one of the big complaints we both had was the actual look of the ghost. Like I said, it was just a swirling CGI mess. Why do you think they decided to go with that?
Either the CGI director had a nephew that he really wanted to give a job to, or I got nothing. This is inexcusable.
No, because like I always thought that a ghost is something so easy to pull off. I mean, it's just I'd rather see ghosts do some good camera angles, some good camera work, make a creepy atmosphere, and have an actor in makeup would probably be better.
I mean, if only the 1980s gave us any ghost movies of note.
Yeah, really.
that we could draw from.
Yeah, but it looks like originally the director of this movie didn't want to go with not a fan of CGI and actually wanted to go with practical effects, and that was their first attempt, but it didn't work out so good. And we've mentioned on the show many times that some of our listeners are pretty resourceful, and turns out one of them found the audio of a conversation that happened between the actual props master to someone that they actually had hired to make some of the props for the movie. And didn't turn out so well, and he ended up going with a CG ghost.
Boy, I guess we can only... Well, I would say we can only imagine what went wrong, but we don't have to imagine any more on this week's It Came from the Cutting Room Floor. Oh, hello, John.
Oh, hi, Kevin. What's up?
Oh, I just came by to see how the props are coming along. We start filming on Saturday. I'm really looking forward to doing a fantastic practical effects ghost story.
Yeah. This Saturday, right? So, yeah. Well, we have some prototypes ready to go if you want to check those out.
You, don't seem entirely confident, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
No, it's good. We're all good. We're good. So, anyway, just for our first idea, we thought, hey, an animatronic ghost might work.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, some of my favorite monster movies used animatronics, but I never heard of an animatronic ghost. This is exciting. Okay, show me what you got.
Okay, here you go, just right here, and ooh, spooky ghost! Look out! The ghost is gonna get ya! Ooh, ooh, Ooh.
What?
Ooh, it's so scary.
You put a sheet over a broom handle.
Yeah, we did for that, classic ghost look.
The sheet has a floral design on it.
It's a variation on the classic look. We can even draw some eyes and a scary face. I just need a Sharpie. I'm sure I got one here somewhere. And if you keep the camera pinned up, you won't even see me holding the broom.
This is a joke, right?
Of course it is. Look at it. It's amateur stuff. It's a sheet on a broom. Like, I'm just messing with you, man. So yeah, forget animatronics. For more realistic movements, you need a costume on an actor.
Yeah, that could work if it's good enough.
Yeah, I could. Well, get ready to shit your pants because this will be the best. Okay, you ready? Mm-hmm. All right, turn around. Okay, you ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay, turn around. Ta-da!
You just took the sheet off the broom and put it over your head.
Yeah, but now you don't need to keep the cameras panned up because I'm covered and I can move my arms around and I can walk around. What? Ha! That was just because they couldn't see where I was going. But if we cut some eye holes, then not only can I see, but now you have a ghost with moving eyes. Scary.
What the hell is wrong with you? You had 2 weeks to come up with a ghost we could use in the movie, and so far you've given me a sheet on a broom and then a sheet on an idiot.
Right. You know what? This don't work. Costumes? Come on. What was I thinking? I mean, ghosts don't look like sheets. They look like us, except really, really white. So maybe a makeup job on an actor is the best. And we totally thought of that. My assistant, Michelle, yeah, that's it. She's waiting in the next room with a scary ghost makeup job.
Okay, that's enough.
No, she's all good to go. Just a sec. Michelle, are you ready? I'll be out in just a minute. I'll go help her. Here I am. Ooh, I'm a scary ghost.
John.
No, I'm Michelle. I'm a ghost.
I know it's you, John. You just covered yourself in white paint.
Yes.
Again, what the hell is wrong with you?
I smoke a lot of crack. I mean, a lot. Sometimes I don't even smoke it. I just put the whole rock right in my butthole.
You're fired.
Yep, that's what always happens. Oh well, I think I'll go see if Troma's hiring.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. I better call up some CGI effects team and see what they can whip up. I mean, how bad could it be? Wow.
Yeah. There you go. And that's the reason why. And
wow.
Too bad. Yeah, it's
to think this movie could have actually looked worse.
Yeah, I honestly would like to see a supercut of like every scene that the ghost is in. Somebody just puts a sheet on a broom and just edits that in,
or just has like a fat guy with some makeup on and.
If it's anything that we've discovered while doing the show is that there seems to be a lot of problems with prop guys. They have some will say, make some poor life choices.
Well, even as Blaine told us in that Critical Madness, you give a prop master any advance money, and they will fucking go to Party Town.
Yep.
And that's before they finish their products. So like even the guy in Critical Madness who decided he he couldn't even make a fucking a decapitating head before going on a bender. Like, these guys party first and work later, maybe.
Yeah.
So, prop masters, just bad impulse control.
Use all these lessons that you've learned from this movie, from this podcast. Fuck them. Jesus Christ. I can't even talk right now. If you're making a movie, you make sure that we make a deal with your props guy that they get paid at the end. They get paid after they deliver what you ask for. Don't pay them up front. It'll just be a mess. Okay, well, guys, that is Mama. We didn't like it too much, but I got a feeling we're going to get some... we might get a little bit of feedback about this one, Mike. That's my prediction. I think there's some people that actually really enjoy this movie.
Like the person who suggested it?
Yes. I don't know. I honestly don't know if she suggested it because she likes it or that she just said "Mama." That's it.
She just wanted to see us squirm.
Literally, I on a Facebook post that I made months and months and months ago. I said, "Hey, you have any movies you'd like us to cover on the show? Let us know." And the comment just says "Mama." So, who knows? We do get suggestions for movies that people want us to watch them because they think they suck. So,
yeah, some of our fans give us the old spite vote.
A lot do, actually. Especially our actual people that we know. People that we know love giving us movies that are really bad. So, guys, but that is Mama. What do you think of this one? You like it? Don't like it? Did we miss some critical things that we could have praised or dissed even more? Well, we want to hear from you. You can email us at graveyardshiftpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at GYS_horrorpod. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/thegraveyardshiftpod or on Instagram at instagram.com/thegraveyardshiftpod. And guys, if you like what you're hearing on the show and you want to help keep the show running, you can head on over to www.patreon.com/graveyard and you can make a little financial donation to help with the costs of operations. The show is free to listen to, but it's not free for us to make. We actually have to put in some hard-earned dollars to keep this thing going. And if you are generous enough to donate even $1 a month to the upkeep and promotion of the show, you get access to some pretty good exclusive Patreon bonus episodes. Once a month, we put up a new Patreon episode. These are different than what we do in the regular feed. This is a chance for us to be a little bit experimental. Even this time around, we actually each did our own solo show. So check those out. Mm-hmm. That was a first, and turned out pretty good too. Actually, it was. I liked yours. One of my favorite. Mike talked about one of my favorite shows, The Twilight Zone, and gave some thoughts on some of his favorite episodes. Pretty good. Check it out. And of course, we totally understand that not everybody has enough money laying around to give some to a couple of guys talking about horror movies. But that is okay. You can still help us out a ton. First of all, you can go onto iTunes, rate, review, subscribe. To be perfectly honest, in the long run, that's what helps us out the most. So if you haven't already done that, Apple users, please go ahead and do that. And if you're not an Apple user, whatever format you're listening to the show on, I'm sure there's some kind of rating or subscribing system. So take advantage of that. We do appreciate it in whatever form it is. And if that's not possible, if you could share us on your social media, like our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram page, whatever. If you know somebody that you have on social media that might be interested, then share our pages with them. And of course, you can share it by word of mouth too. If you know somebody that you think might want to listen to two guys talk about horror movies, then just tell them, hey, check out this podcast called The Graveyard Shift, Horror with Sheldon and Mike. Think you might like it. That's all it takes, and we would be ever so grateful. So, Mike, other than this show, what else you got going on, buddy?
Well, I got the Playing with Power podcast, where me and my friends read Nintendo Power Magazine, the first issue to, well, the last one we can find. Hopefully the last if we get any fans to help us get some scans. Or it's just gonna end abruptly, like, well, we ran out of issues, bye. But after that, if that show does reach its inevitable end, we have the taste test on the same feed where me and two other friends, we dick around with old Nintendo games. We throw out food jokes, terrible tangents. We just released a lost episode recently, which was I had previously deleted it before loading it, but luckily we found it. I touched it up, and it's I think it's one of our best episodes. We talk about the power pad, the accessory for the Nintendo, which should have given us 8-bit DDR, but never did.
Yeah, I haven't listened to that one yet. I've downloaded it, but I haven't gotten around to listening. But looking forward to checking that one out, because that's not an accessory that a lot of people talk about.
Oh no, and you'll find out why. You can check out Geek Fallout Productions wherever podcasts are found, and you will find the revived version of my very first podcast, Techno Babble, where we talk about science, a little bit of tech, a little bit of chemistry, biology, whatever I find up online that involves know-it-all stuff by people with glasses and lab coats that make more money than I ever will, and things that they're making or doing that will save the world or hasten its destruction. And it's stuff done by smart people, talked about by people who aren't that. So check it out. It's funny sometimes.
Yeah, it's a good one. Check it out. And speaking of playing, you mentioned playing with power. Your co-host Ben has a podcast as well called Repeat One.
Indeed, it's a music podcast where he talks about songs that you can listen to on loop forever, or at least for a couple of hours, and the stories behind them.
Mm-hmm. I like that one. I'm a little bit of a music geek, and that one really speaks to me. And it's very short and painless, so it doesn't take much time at all. Which is,
Not like any of my podcasts.
No, but I mean, with the topic, it gives an opportunity he says what he wants to say in a short amount of time. It doesn't need to take any more time than that. There's no filler, basically. He says what he needs to say about the song, and then you get to go listen to it. And it's great. I really like it. So check those out. And guys, we really do appreciate all the downloads, all the Facebook and Twitter followings and messages. Seriously, really feeling the love. Thank you guys so much. We're going to be back next week with another movie, and I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm both really excited and very scared to watch this next movie. Because, man, it is something different. But anyway, we're going to be talking about next time. And until then, I'm Sheldon.
And I'm Mike.
And thank you again for joining us on the Graveyard Shift. I have wet pants. Ooh, what a scary ghost.
If you really want trauma to hire you, got to take that. You got to get that rock out of your butthole.